Welcome back to Life is Hard TV, the life show for the rest of us. You're on the cooking channel, and it's another episode. The sauce is boiling, simmering I should say, and it's time to make some meatballs. Get the camera working there, Ed?
Yes.
Alright. Okay, so we have all the ingredients out. These are Chef Dave's, that's me, world famous meatballs. Come on over and let's take a look at the sauce here. This is simmering on absolute low, as low as you can get it. It's been going now for probably about an hour, and it's boiling, simmering, and we're going to drop the meatballs right into the sauce. Now, folks, don't worry too much about memorizing every ingredient because you'll find the ingredients on the website. So let's go. Let's make some meatballs. Right here we got the fresh ground beef. I like to use 90% lean. This is about 2 pounds. So to that we'll throw in the breadcrumbs. I've gone a lot lighter on the breadcrumbs over the years due to the fact that, you know, low carb diet, etc., etc. So I'm a little more carb conscious. I don't completely cut out carbs, but I would have to say eat a lot less than I used to years ago. Which means that I eat less pasta, more meatballs than I used to. I used to sit down myself and easily pound down a half a pound of pasta, but I don't do that anymore, so we'll go more for the meatballs myself. So we threw in some breadcrumbs. We're going to go about 1 egg per pound. And again, don't worry too much about memorizing the ingredients because you can get them where? On the website. Right. Okay, we got a couple of eggs. We got the breadcrumbs. We'll throw in some milk. It's about 3/4 of a cup, roughly. You want to balance the breadcrumb with the milk. If it gets too dry, you might need to add a little more milk. If it's too moist and too soupy, as you start to mix it, then add more breadcrumb back in. Absolutely some black pepper. It's all by feel. I'd say that's probably half a teaspoon, whatever. Garlic, I've got a couple of cloves of fresh garlic. Chopped up very finely, very important. Here's a little time-saving tip. Parmesan cheese, high quality, imported from Italy. Got this at Costco. Parmesan I like to cook with. Romano I like for the tabletop to sprinkle over pasta, etc. For some reason within the last couple of years, Parmesan became a lot more cost-effective than Parmesan. So whereas I used to be equally priced, I get this in a double bag. This is 1.5 pounds, so I get 3 pounds for about 15 bucks, so it's about $5 a pound on average. And Romano cheese is about 8 bucks a pound. So it's I like to cook with this, and like I said, sprinkle the Romano on top of the meal. So here I'm going to put in probably about a cup. You can go a half to 3/4 of a cup per pound of meat. So we have the ground beef, we have the eggs, breadcrumbs, pepper, cheese, garlic. We'll put in a touch of salt, and key ingredient here, because it's January in Connecticut, we don't have any fresh parsley. I prefer fresh. Fresh is the way to go, but I like to go very generous on the parsley. Take a look at that. That's probably a good half, 3/4 of a cup. I remember growing up, like I said, following Uncle Joe around the kitchen, and his meatballs were amazing. You cut open the meatball and the parsley just flowing out is just incredible. So a ton of parsley, and last ingredient, we're going to throw in, where's that olive oil? Where's the olive oil? Here it is. Olive oil. Thank you, my assistants. A little bit of olive oil, a couple of tablespoons in there. That really helps it cook well, keeps them nice and moist. And that is pretty much it. Now here's the key. Get in there with the hands. Start to mix it up. You can see it all starting to come together. The eggs, add some moisture, help them kind of stick together. Got the milk in there with the breadcrumb. It's feeling like it's the right blend. You can see that parsley. Alright, it's looking good. Can someone roll up my sleeve, please? Pull that up. Thank you very much. Okay, good. So we have the sauce, as they might say in New York, sauce, or Rhode Island, sauce. We're from Massachusetts. The Italian section of Mass, Shrewsbury Street. It's where all the good food happens. The best bakeries. Alright, so the meatballs are mixed. And we're ready to go. Now this is the key right here. Mixing by hand and rolling. Now this takes a little bit of time, but it's certainly worth it. Now right here on the meatball, make sure you take your time here and give it a good 20 to 30 seconds per meatball. You got to roll it around, make sure it's nice and smooth. Because if you don't give it enough time, it'll fall apart in the sauce, in the sauce. You got to stop saying that, because I'll form a new accent that I don't want to form. Okay, take a look at that. How's that look? That's the world's best meatball right there. And like I said in the previous episode, the authentic Italians that have eaten Chef Dave's meatballs have said as good as Grandma's, which is the ultimate compliment, coming right out of Italy. By the way, my grandmother and grandfather were off the boat in Italy, and Uncle Joe was the best cook ever. He was awesome. So it's a tribute to Uncle Joe's meatballs. It's where we learned them. So hope you guys enjoy it. It's another episode of Life is Hard TV, the cooking channel. Roll the meatballs, drop them in the simmering sauce, and you're good to go. And one last point. I know a lot of folks like to fry their meatballs first or bake them. You absolutely can do that. This is perfectly 100% safe. I've been eating meatballs like this and feeding my family for 30 years, and I'm still alive. I've been eating it for 30, feeding my family for about 10 to 13. So there you have it, folks. Chef Dave's Meatballs, another episode of lifeishardtv.com. The life show for the rest of us, the most passionate cooking show on the internet. See you soon.